What worked well in terms of our trailer is that we used all the forms and conventions successfully that we had researched in certain films such as Strangers, Prisoners, The Conjuring, and Insidious. Secondly, what worked really well was the use of the montage that we used to show the deterioration of the detective. Similar montages we had researched were very successful in such films such as Strangers. Fourthly, the colours that we used within our trailer, for example, the pentagram in the middle was consistent throughout each of our products, the poster and the website, so that worked well with the other two products in sense of our trailer. And lastly, the fact that our audience did not need to rely on intertitles to establish the plot. They were able to do this for a collection of images and how we had edited the images together, which was very successful as we didn't want to rely on intertitles. What worked well on our poster was the image that we used and the emphasis that we placed on the star, which meant that people were able to link our products together. Also, the font and our title that we used really worked well on our poster to establish the fear, but also to establish that kind of idea that it's kind of satanic and evil due to the font that we used. Another thing that worked really well on our poster was the information that we had on the bottom, for example, everywhere in cinemas, June. What worked really well on our website was the menu bar that we had. According to our audience feedback, they really liked the options that we had along our menu bar. Also, what worked well on our website was the social networking links that we had developed to suit the colour scheme of our website. What didn't work with our trailer was originally we had some shots that we included into the trailer. However, on looking back at the trailer and also getting some audience feedback, it seemed that these shots did not work, so we had to take them out. For example, a shot of where the cult member is walking past the office where the cult member's face is filmed, and also where we have a shot of where the cult member is walking past. Another element of our trailer that didn't work very well was the transition of our two tracks. According to our audience feedback, it was the transitioning of the two tracks were not done smoothly, and you could hear when one track started and one track stopped. So the transition of them was not smooth. They're everywhere. Also, some of the scenes were a bit too short for our audience to establish the exact plot, and they felt that if the scenes were a bit longer, it would have been better for them to fully understand what that scene was about. What didn't work on our poster was the fact that we didn't develop the social networking icon to fit our colour scheme. Instead of changing it white or red, we left it its original colour, which was blue, and according to our audience feedback, this distorted the consistency. Secondly, another thing that didn't really work was some of the feedback that we got was that the font of the tagline was a bit too small and you had to come a lot closer to be able to read the tagline, and therefore that didn't work well as we got our sizing wrong. What didn't work well on our website was the colour that we used. According to our feedback, the red that we used was too dark against the black and was very hard to read. Secondly, our photoshopping skills of some stars were not very good, and therefore you could see the black background and they didn't blend into the background very well. Another element of our website which wasn't good is that we didn't keep up with consistency, as we didn't include the tagline that we had on our poster on our website. Therefore, this distorted the consistency. Also, the red that we used wasn't actually consistent to the other colours that we had used on our poster, so therefore there wasn't that much consistency with the colours used. Our main product and our auxiliary text worked well in three main areas: conceptually, emotionally, and physically. Firstly, our trailer, poster, and website worked well together conceptually because of the idea of the pentagram in the middle. Firstly, we included the pentagram in all three elements of our products. Therefore, the concept was carried throughout each product. Our main focus was always put on the pentagram, which connotations are of Satan, rituals, sacrifices, and cults. Therefore, throughout each product, that was a clear connotation and that was a main focus, and therefore our concept behind it which was of rituals, satanics, cults, and devils, was upheld throughout each of the elements, and therefore they worked well together in creating and upholding our concept. Our three main products worked well together emotionally because of the idea of paranoia. This idea of paranoia as an emotion was upheld throughout each of our products. First of all, we were able to show the emotion of paranoia through our montage in the deterioration of the detective, from her being a strong, hardworking individual to, by the end of the trailer, her being a very paranoid, on edge individual. This was also upheld in our tagline, "Is the devil on your case?" That kind of question creates a sense of paranoia because that's kind of the question that people who are very paranoid would ask, always asking these kind of questions. So the fact that our tagline was a question created and upheld that sense of the paranoid emotion. Finally, our products worked well physically because of the consistency we kept throughout each of them. First of all, we used the same image on our website, on our poster, and it was included in our trailer. The emphasis on the star was the emphasis of the poster and the main focus of the website. Therefore, consistently, they are all linked together. Secondly, the font that we used was very consistent throughout each product. In the trailer at the end, we used the same font on the poster and on the website. Therefore, our products again were all easily linked together because we had used the same fonts throughout. The colours used in the trailer, the poster and the website were again consistent to an extent. This was because the colours that we used, we wanted to make sure that they were in each element of the poster. So the white and the black was very prominent in the poster, in the trailer, and also to an extent on the website due to the title we had kept on the page. So therefore, physically, our three products worked well together because they were all consistent with each other and were easily able to be linked. Overall, our main task and our auxiliary text worked effectively together because they were all consistent with each other to a certain extent, and conceptually, emotionally, and physically, they were all effective to each other.